What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Anything Box. And we're continuing through all the tracks from their 1990 album, Peace. Once again, big shout out to Herman for bringing them to my attention. And one that I have in the folder, which I have not yet reacted to, is Just One Day. So it does feel like there is an acknowledgement that there could be a larger time span for whatever this is referring to, but it is in fact limited to a single day. Now, that could be in a positive sense, like all I want is just one day with this person or in this situation, but of course it could be on the more negative or sad end of the scale, like all we had was just one day. So I would expect it to maybe be related to, psycho-emotional feelings in connection to a potential romantic encounter or relationship. So let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Anything Box. The song is Just One Day, and it's from their 1990 album, Peace. Major Erasure vibes.
Slowly bring myself to rest near a peaceful place, hoping and waiting for some sign. Anything will do. I just wander in my soul in the search for you. You would say, please, please just go away. Let your mind forget about this dreary day. Just one day in the life of a fool. Just one day in the life of a fool. The afternoon will pass me by as I reach the wall. Stretches out across the land that I knew so well. And in a garden there all the flowers bloom, reminders of a growing rose, always full of thorns. You would say, please, please don't cry this way. Slowly turn as the moon shows her face. Just one day in the life of a fool. Just one day in the life of a fool. In the life of a drips itself on me as I'm heading home. Carrying roses in my hands, I'm thinking of you. How you smiled and kissed my face. Thought I heard you, I thought I heard you say, just one day in the life of a fool. Just one day in the life of a fool. Just one day in the life just one day. Just one day in the life of a fool. Just one day in the life of a fool.
I really do like his voice. I remember, the first time, was it the first track? I felt the pain. I'm trying to remember if that was, I don't know if it was the first, but it was very early on, and that was one where I just really keyed in on his vocal delivery. And yes, I love the kind of 80s stylings. As I mentioned right at the start, it kind of reminded me a bit of Erasure, because that main, like, shimmering electric melodic layer, that's very, like, Vince production. And yeah, like, I enjoy the way they play with, like, the rhythm of the chorus line and some of the other lines over the course of the song. And indeed, some of the verse lines, like, don't rhyme in a simple, standard kind of way, which is totally fine. Like, you can have lines that work really well in sequence, even if they don't rhyme the way song lyrics often do. But there were a couple that caught me by surprise, because I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be the rhyme for that. And like, oh, they chose an unrhymed line. But yeah, it does sound like this is about just kind of touching the magic, even if it's just one day. And the idea of, seeing someone smile, the kiss on the narrator's face, and, it also seems though like he's kind of a daydreamer, or he's sort of like, passively engaging with the world around him. He's watching the clouds, he's watching the flowers grow, and he's even saying, like, a rose has thorns, which, okay, there are many songs and poems that speak to that interesting dichotomy where it's something so very beautiful, but it can also cause harm or pain. It can make someone bleed, and of course, it is therefore a really nice metaphor for love, the idea that it is elegant and beautiful and can be very wonderful to experience and look at, or to be in the presence of, but it can also sting you or hurt you. And then it's like, what is he, up against the wall, which means like you can't go any farther, so it feels like he's kind of contained, but then he's saying, like, he had like picked the roses for this other person, so it sounds like he's just kind of waiting for the right moment, just one day that he can be with this person. So I don't know if I'm reading that right. Do let me know if I've kind of got an incorrect angle on it, but that seemed to be the sentiment, that he is smitten with this other person, and even if it's just for a flash, even if it's just for a fleeting, ephemeral moment, he very much wants to make that connection. As I said, I love the sonics. There's a bit of erasure. As it went along, there were some more layers that were less reminding me of erasure, but yeah, some like sweeping string synths and some nice, like percussive, like in the chorus it had that like really rapid, I think, hi-hat, and I enjoyed the rhythm of that, and it really did stand out. Now, I've mentioned before, drums and drum machines, certain aspects of them really do stand out to me, in part because I'm a big fan of techno, and the ride cymbal and the hi-hat and the kick drum and so on. These are all very prominent features of techno tunes, and when there's a bit of a tweak to one, or where it's like just a really compelling sound of one of the drum bits, I do tend to notice that. Though of course also it goes back to my enjoyment of synth-pop, all the way back to a single-digit kid, or being a single-digit kid in the 80s. But yeah, I very much like this group, and again, it's cool to hear a group that has a style reminiscent of some of the stuff that I grew up on, but was never a group that I heard. So once again, shout out to Herman. Let me know what you think of the tune, and I will see you next time. Peace.